Another day, another Wi-Fi battle. This is Mega Man NG, and welcome back to another Gen 6 battle. This time I take on Mike, and his team's actually really interesting. I'm hoping he can back it up with a really good battle, because that last battle I had was just it rather made me feel angry. I just don't know why. He starts off with a Channeler, which is really interesting. I start off with my trusted Empoleon, and my Empoleon never lets me down. He goes for a flamethrower, which normally would be super effective, but it doesn't, and it changed my HP down by half. I counter with a well-deserved Hydro Pump, and Chandelure goes down with one hit. Yeah, this is a modest nature Empoleon, and that has never let me down. Ever. Since Gen 4, I kid you not. Yeah, I am relieved, and I'm able to get it done. And now he sends out Archeops, and Archeops looks just rather weird. He looks a bit different than what I would normally see in his Gen 5 sprite. Looks a lot bigger, too. He goes for an Earthquake, and then it takes down my Empoleon, and I notice that this thing probably has Defeatist, which basically means that if this thing has less HP than normal, his attacks also decrease as a result. He goes for the Acrobatics, and the Acrobatics does a lot of damage, but thanks to the Intimidate, at least that saved me. If I didn't put the Intimidate on, it would have really hurt. I go for a U-turn, and that to me is well-deserved. That to me makes me happy, and I send out a Pokemon that's going to help me on the long run, Electivire. And he goes for a Rock Slide, and he misses. And I go for a Thunder Punch, which takes him down. And bam, he goes down with one fell swoop. I would have went for Ice Punch for good measure, but it wouldn't matter. Thunder Punch helps me out greatly. And he sends out, oh dear, he sends out a Haxorus. And that Haxorus is deadly. If you know me on Showdown and Gen 5 battles, my Haxorus has never let me down. Ever. He goes for the Earthquake, and that takes down my Electivire in one fell swoop. At least you did your job, Electivire. Nice work. I send out my Staraptor yet again, hoping that the Intimidate would at least weaken his attack by a bit. And at least it does, but he goes for a Dragon Claw, and that takes down my Staraptor without much sweat. Yeah. Ah well, at least I tried. Anyway, enough was enough. It was time I bring out the big guns, and I send out my Alakazam, and my Alakazam reacts, and it evolves even further to Mega Alakazam. And thanks to its special ability trace, I also get the ability Mold Breaker, which, if you guys know, helps break the mold. And it does break the mold well. So now I go for a Dazzling Gleam, and the Dazzling Gleam basically takes down my Haxorus without much sweat. Basically, he's done. Haxorus is officially hitting the ground hard. And now he sends out a really interesting Pokemon. He sends out Samurott, and that's interesting. I don't even want to know what he's going to do. He may have a Mega Horn, so I make the switch. I go into my Rose Raid, hoping to withstand the Mega Horn, and he actually does have Mega Horn. He uses it, and that doesn't do much. Thank goodness for that. He makes a switch, because I think he may have another Pokemon that can counter it, and he sends out a Noivern. That's really something, a Noivern. He has Frisk, and he knows it might have Rose Incense. I go for a Sleep Powder, hoping to put it to sleep, and I do. And thank you. Now I can at least get some time to prep up and strike back. But as I make a switch hoping to Alakazam, so that way I can at least use Dazzling Gleam to finish it off. And I trace it, and it also gets Frisk. And by analyzing its Frisk, let's see what he's got. He's got a Metronome. Why would I have a Metronome? He's fast asleep, because normally he would do like a move like Air Slash, and I go for a Dazzling Gleam, which does take down his Noivern. But it doesn't kill it. And I'm like, what? Oh my god, I thought it would like survive or something. So I'm like, you know what, screw it. I'll just use a Psychic Attack and finish it off. Thank goodness for that. And I get a crit, and I don't think the crit really did matter, but do you really care if I did get a crit? Not really. He brings back his Samurott once again, and I know he's going to send out his Mega Horn as usual, but I'm not going to let him get the chance, so I send in my Rose Raid, hoping to withstand whatever he brings out, and he goes to go for the Ice Beam. He actually made a pretty good prediction. That was a good prediction, my friend. You actually knew that I was going to make the switch, and he also gets a crit, but I don't know if it mattered that much. Now I send out my Blaziken, and I'm hoping to at least get a few good hits on this guy, and I go for a Superpower. And yeah, the Gen 5 Mood Tutor-based move, and I'm surprised I actually gave him that. Although it did some damage, it wasn't enough. But he goes for a Surf, and that basically takes down my Blaziken. Yeah, because Superpower lowers attack and defense. Unless you have Contrary. Ah well. And now I send in my Alakazam yet again, and this time I trace and I get Torrent. Basically, depending on your situation, you can have at least something better or something different. He goes for the Aqua Jet, and the Aqua Jet doesn't kill it, but at least I get a free head off with Psychic, and that takes down Samurott. Man, this is getting to be a really good battle, and I'm actually feeling excited. And he sends out next Hawlucha. And for a shiny, it looks really cool, and I wonder if it reminds me of Rey Mysterio. He goes for the Detect, wondering if I'll do anything. I go for a Psychic, and he blocks it. And I think this is the end of the battle. I go for the Psychic, and I finish him off. This was a really good battle. You have a really interesting team right here. And I apologize if I got you one too many crits for this battle. But either way, I enjoyed this battle a lot. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Mike, for taking part. And I'll see you guys next time with another battle. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. It does mean a lot to me. And I'll see you guys next time. All right, later.